Hello and welcome back to WION World is One. I'm Kanishka Sarkar and this is Speed News. Let's take a look at all the stories making headlines at this hour. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said Kyiv needs 5% of the US Patriot interceptor stockpile to get through the winter. He said Ukraine would need 10% to counter Russia's ballistic missile attacks. Zelensky says Ukraine's stocks are nearly depleted as Russian air attacks intensify. The US Patriot system is critical to Ukraine's defense against ballistic missiles. Ukraine launched a massive overnight drone attack on Russia's Black Sea port city of Novorossiysk, killing 3 people and wounding 24, according to Russian authorities. The attack damaged 2 major grain terminals at the port. The strikes have raised concerns over disruptions to grain exports and potential impacts on global wheat supplies and prices. The attack comes as Russia and Ukraine continue to target infrastructure deep inside each other's territory. The US military says it is stepping up enforcement of a naval blockade against Iran in the Strait of Hormuz. US Central Command says American forces redirected 59 commercial vessels, disabled 3 and boarded 2 while enforcing a blockade against Iran. CENTCOM released images showing an FA-18 fighter jet launching from the USS George H.W. Bush as the carrier operates in regional waters. The command described the operation as part of America's steel wall blockade against Iran. The operations come as President Donald Trump claims the U.S. has total control of the Strait of Hormuz. He said Iran has no navy, no air force, unpaid soldiers, and a decimated IRGC. He also said Iran's leadership faces uncertainty, it has no money, and is left with fake news and 300% inflation. Firefighters in Libya's Zawiya sprayed water on the oil complex to cool damaged facilities and prevent the fires from reigniting. The fires were triggered by attacks involving explosive-laden drones disrupting oil operations in the strategic city. Libya's state oil firm, the National Oil Corporation, has warned that continued drone attacks on energy facilities could force it to declare force majeure. Zawiya, located west of Tripoli, is home to Libya's largest operating refinery and has experienced repeated clashes between armed groups. The escalating violence has raised fresh concerns over oil production and exports from the OPEC member, as further attacks could further disrupt critical energy operations. Lebanon's Prime Minister Nawaf Salam has condemned Israel's systematic destruction in southern Lebanon, calling the attacks and demolitions violations of international and humanitarian law. Salam said that the claim that entire villages and towns are military facilities does not stand up to logic and cannot justify destroying homes, displacing residents, and preventing them from returning. People celebrated in the northern Lebanese city of Tripoli after Parliament passed a long-awaited amnesty law. The legislation is expected to benefit thousands of prisoners and wanted people in the first such law since 1991. The law, which had been a demand of various political factions and a topic of debate for years, aims to reduce prison overcrowding with many inmates awaiting trial for years. Celebrations included fireworks, motorcycle parades, and crowds waving Islamic flags and chanting religious slogans. Families of detainees welcomed the law but said it does not go far enough, with some prisoners still expected to serve additional years behind bars. U.S. President Donald Trump says White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt will leave her role at the end of August. Leavitt, 28, says that she wants to spend more time with her young children but will continue to support Trump as an outside communication advisor. Leavitt joined Trump's 2024 campaign and became the youngest person to serve as White House Press Secretary. Her departure comes ahead of November's midterm elections. Two U.S. Army soldiers were killed when an Apache military helicopter attached to the service's Fort Hood base crashed into a field in Texas. The crash in Bell County sparked a large grass fire with smoke rising from a wide area of burnt grass and helicopter debris. Emergency services responded to the scene. Fort Hood Base has confirmed the AH-64 attack helicopter crashed and said that two soldier identities would be withheld pending notification of their families. A Minnesota man killed his wife and their 7-year-old daughter as young children gathered at a home daycare. The couple owned before taking his own life. Sometime prior to the attack, police believe he also killed a 78-year-old relative at her home. A total solar eclipse darkened skies across parts of the northern hemisphere, creating a rare spectacle for millions of skywatchers. The eclipse marked mainland Europe's first total solar eclipse since 1999, drawing large crowds to viewing locations across the region. The path of totality stretched across Greenland, Iceland, Russia, Spain and Portugal as the moon moved directly between the Earth and the Sun, briefly blocking out the Sun's light. For those inside the path of totality, darkness lasted for up to 2 minutes and 18 seconds, with the sky taking on a twilight-like appearance in the middle of the day. Colombian President Abelardo de la Espriella has declared an economic emergency following a magnitude 7.4 earthquake that has killed 265 people and left 496 others missing. The president said the measure provided for under the country's constitution will allow the government to respond to the crisis through decree and channel national and international funding towards reconstruction. A special fund will support the rebuilding of hospitals, schools, homes, roads and airports damaged by the earthquake. The government is also preparing relief measures including support for utility payments, rental subsidies and displaced families, tax and financial relief and direct economic assistance for vulnerable households. Argentine scientists protested in Buenos Aires against budget cuts and job losses in the science and technology sector. Researchers say funding cuts and fewer job opportunities are pushing scientists to leave the country, raising fears of a brain drain. Protesters warn that cuts could also damage Argentina's ability to develop vaccines, satellites, radar systems and nuclear technology. University workers also cited falling wages, frozen scholarships and growing operating problems. The protesters called for greater support for science and higher education.
A todos y a todas, qué lindo ver tanta gente.
Y le damos espacio y todas y con esta organización y vamos a terminar con el himno nacional.
Venezuela's interim government and opposition have completed a first round of talks aimed at reconciling the country following the ouster of Nicolas Maduro. In a joint statement, the sides agreed to begin a process to transform the justice system. They also agreed to work to access funds frozen at the Bank of England following devastating earthquakes in June. The talks mark an early step towards political reconciliation and institutional reform in Venezuela. At least 44 people have died after a passenger ferry capsized on Zimbabwe's Lake Kariba. Police say the vessel capsized during heavy winds and may have been carrying more than 120 people, despite being designed for 90. Rescue boats continued search operations around the capsized ferry. Authorities say that 67 people have been rescued and taken for medical attention. The death toll rose sharply after more bodies were recovered from the lake. Taiwan's military conducted drills on a key bridge connecting New Taipei City and Taipei, simulating defense on the capital against a potential Chinese attack. Soldiers set up metal barricades, barbed wires, and concrete barriers, with buses also used as roadblocks. The exercise simulated combat, including firing, smoke, and medical rescue operations. Taiwan's Cloud Leopard armored vehicles also took part, simulating fire on advancing forces. And the drills are part of the annual Hanquang exercises, which rehearse responses to a potential Chinese military assault on the island. The European Broadcasting Union has updated Eurovision hosting rules, saying a winning country involved in an armed conflict or sensitive geopolitical situation may be ineligible to host the following year. The rule change follows controversy over Israel's participation in the contest amid its military actions in Gaza and the wider region. The new rules also affect Ukraine, which has been at war with Russia since 2022. The 2027 contest will be held in Bulgaria after Tara won the 2026 competition. Maharashtra FDA suspends food business licenses of 4 Domino's outlets, including 3 in Mumbai, over alleged food safety and hygiene violations. The action was taken during a special inspection drive targeting chain restaurants. Officials say the outlets were found with deficiencies related to food storage, hygiene, pest control, and other safety requirements. Karnataka outfit Okuta has called for a statewide shutdown, protesting over the Kaveri water issue. The shutdown is led by Karnataka Okuta State President Vatal Nagaraj, along with various pro-Kannada groups. Moving on to some climate-related updates, a fast-moving wildfire is threatening homes in the Montenegrin coastal town of Herceg-Novi. Strong winds are fueling the blaze, which broke out in the afternoon and remained out of control by nightfall. Authorities have ordered evacuations in neighborhoods close to the fire as firefighters work to contain the flames. A deadly wildfire in Western Canada that has forced some 20,000 people to flee grew overnight even without strong winds, challenging efforts to contain it and fully assess the damage. 100 firefighters from Mexico have joined the effort, bringing the number of firefighters battling the blaze to 193. The fire has destroyed homes and other properties near Ukangan Lake, killed an 80-year-old woman and burnt towards Summerland, a community of about 12,000 people roughly 300 kilometers east of Vancouver. Moving on to updates from the world of business, Japan's wholesale inflation picked up pace in July, reinforcing expectations that the Bank of Japan could move toward a rate hike as early as September. Producer prices rose 7.2% year-on-year, while import costs surged nearly 29%, driven largely by a weaker yen. The data highlights persistent cost pressures across the economy and adds to mounting pressure on the central bank to respond to broader inflation risks. Global electric vehicle sales rose for a fifth straight month in July, but the growth was uneven across major markets. Battery electric and plug-in hybrid sales climbed 9% year-on-year to 1.85 million vehicles. Europe led the gains with sales jumping 33% to 450,000, helped by renewed subsidies. China saw sales fall 5%, while North America plunged 27% following the end of U.S. federal EV tax credits. The figures highlight a widening divide in the global EV market. The U.S. federal budget deficit surged to a record $432 billion in July as government spending rose and tariff revenues turned negative for a third straight month. The deficit for the first 10 months of the 2026 fiscal year has now reached $1.8 trillion, already exceeding the full-year gap for 2025. July spending hit $766 billion, while tariff refunds pushed custom receipts into negative territory. The Congressional Budget Office expects tariff revenues to fall well below earlier projections. Colombia's coffee exports are beginning to resume after a powerful earthquake disrupted roads and operations at the key Pacific port of Buenaventura. The quake struck near the country's main coffee-growing region, severely damaging infrastructure and interrupting shipments. Some exports are now being rerouted through Caribbean ports, but logistics remain difficult. Colombia is one of the world's major coffee producers, and the disruption could put further pressure on global supplies and prices as the industry assesses the damage. Moving on to updates from the world of tech, OpenAI has an internal email system called Friction that lets employees directly flag workplace problems to the company leadership. Employees can report issues such as broken internal systems, slow approval processes, and other bureaucratic bottlenecks. According to a Fortune report, important complaints can be escalated to CEO Sam Altman or President Greg Brockman for action. The system has reportedly helped OpenAI test a new parking system for employees and improve the process for granting API credits. India's National AI Skilling Initiative has received 60,253 applications and enrollments under its first phase. The government says 4,620 participants have completed 2 modules, whilst 552 participants have completed all 4 modules of the program. Launched in March 2026, Phase 1 includes 33 hours of training across 4 modules covering AI basics, prompt writing, generative AI, large language models, and AI-based workflow automation. The government is now finalizing the details of Phase 2. A German digital rights group, Hate Aid, has filed a criminal complaint against Meta and other companies selling its AI-powered smart glasses in Germany. Hate Aid says that devices such as the Ray-Ban Meta Wayfarer could violate German privacy laws. The group argues that people could be filmed without their knowledge, raising concerns over covert surveillance. The complaint has been received by Germany's Digital Crime Prosecution Unit, which will first assess whether these are grounds for a deeper investigation. On to sports updates now. Lionel Messi has written an emotional letter to his late father. With a broken Messi opened up, revealing how difficult it has been for the Argentine to process his father's loss. Messi even has questioned his ability to continue playing without his father beside him and is considering retiring from the sport itself. His father was a huge pillar of support in Messi's career right from his starting days in Barcelona. For now, Messi remains away from football in his hometown, Rosario. The Sports Ministry has suspended recognition of the Table Tennis Federation of India, citing governance failures. The ministry said TTFI failed to conduct elections on time and gave an unsatisfactory response to an earlier show cause notice. The Indian Olympic Association has been asked to form an ad hoc committee to run the sport in the country. The IOA will consult the International Table Tennis Body and then set up an internal regulatory mechanism until a properly elected TTFI body is restored. The Indian Table Tennis Federation has faced repeated governance issues, including Secretary General Kamlesh Mehta's suspension in January over financial irregularities, later overturned by the Delhi High Court. Moving on to updates from the world of entertainment, British actor Nicholas Hoult has officially joined the cast of the highly anticipated Harry Potter television program. Hoult is set to play the vain and immaculately dressed Gilroy Lockhart in the show's second season. The series will adapt J.K. Rowling's novels, with the first season slated to premiere on the 25th of December. It takes over the role previously played on the big screen by Kenneth Branagh in the 2002 film adaptation of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Indian actor Shraddha Kapoor's upcoming biographical drama Etha, which was originally set to arrive in cinemas on the 28th of August, will now release on December 4th. This decision was taken to avoid a box office clash with Toxic. Streaming platform ZEE5 continues to expand its robust catalogue of Bengali language programming, ushering in a fresh era of audiences. The service is ramping up its selection of regional shows and films. Executives hope to captivate viewers across the globe with a diverse mix of thrillers, comedies, and family dramas. By investing in premium digital content and local storytelling, Bangla ZEE5 aims to redefine regional entertainment. Well, that's all the time that we have in this edition of Speed News. I'm Kanishka Sarkar. Thank you for watching. Time now for a very short break. More news and updates will follow on the other side.